Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to O.d.t. It's been a little while getting back into the swing of O.d.t. Some shout outs to my good friend and confidant, Josh Allen, who is just the number one O.d.t. and Lamat fan. He's known as Mr. Lamat himself. Just a simple, awesome, charismatic guy. There are no words to really accurately describe him because he is just beyond cool. And I'm very proud and honored to say a very good friend of mine. I'd also like to thank the O.d.t. community and everybody that has been watching my videos up to this point. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. So without further ado, I don't like to diddly-daddly around. I actually want to get back into swinging O.d.t. So here we go. Last time we left off, I was trying to get onto this bridge, and hopefully I can do that without dying too many times. In my last video, I said, there was a couple people that I've seen who were able to get onto the bridge with like no problem whatsoever. That kind of surprised me a little bit because I wasn't expecting that. Alright, I've done what I thought I should. Now, the question becomes, first off, I'm going to attempt this. And as you can see, you can do it. It's just going to be a pain in the butt. You can do it, ladies and gentlemen. It does not always work. It's kind of like one of those types of game glitches. I've only met a handful of people personally who have been able to do the trick. I'm going to try one more time. And then if I can't do it, then I'm just gonna not try anymore. Or I might. There's also there's a different way of actually doing it. But for me, honestly, that kind of sucked. But for me, honestly, it's probably the best way to get a little bit ahead of some of the enemies and some of the monsters that you face in the game. It's one of those catch-22s. You get ahead of certain monsters. You're able to kind of bypass a certain point in the game, and it just honestly it makes it a little bit easier to play this game. So hopefully, nope. And timing is everything in this game. That is probably the worst part about the game. But also its most unique feature is that you've got to have a very good timing in order to be able to get past certain levels. And it's one of those things where either you love it or you hate it, and there's quite a few people that I know that absolutely hate it. There is a little bit of a trick. A couple people actually, kind of told me about this one. You can get from this particular spot here to that island over there. I will attempt it this first time through and see if I can make it. But you got to make sure that you are perfect timed on it, or else you fall like that. and it is, you know, the majority of the tricks that I remember. You know, a lot of the people from the tournaments used to do what I would call tricks or oddities, or you know, nowadays they're considered quirks or bugs in the game. That was just the way that games back in the day were made. They were made to be, you know, not buggy, but you know, they were made to basically do game parts, and you know, people always try to. Okay, I made it, but I don't know if I really made it, and there's only one way to find out. As you can see, you can do it. It's just a pain in the rear end. It is probably one of the strangest but most rewarding glitches to do. I've only seen one person actually successfully go and do these glitches, you know, making it onto the bridge, making it onto the nope, not gonna happen. Making it onto the bridge and making it onto the shoulder of the bridge in order to bypass quite a bit of the enemies in the game. I figured, you know, no harm, no foul. I've got plenty of lives. Figured give it a shot, see if you know, I can do it. I haven't played this in forever, and I'm sure Josh, if you're watching this, buddy, you're probably going to want to try this, because you know, if you could get this particular these two tricks to work, you, my friend, become a legend. Literally. That I've only seen probably, I'm gonna say 3, maybe 4 YouTube videos where the person actually did you know, the trick to be able to do it. And you know, and that's the amazing thing. You know, you don't get a chance to really see anybody else doing the tricks anymore. You know, a lot of people didn't even know you know, about the tricks, and you know, about you know, like what to do, and you know, how to do it and all that. Let's see here. Alright. Now the question is, nope, it's not going to let me go through there. So now I've got to attempt to make it back. You could kind of see where it kind of ends up, and you know, if you can get to the bridge and whatnot, what exactly happens. But I mean, it's you know, like I said, it's one of those tricks that is very difficult to master. It's very difficult to pull off. I consider anybody that does those tricks masters of O.d.t, and you know, I am forever grateful for a person being able to do it. Now I'm going to not do the trick until I get to the checkpoint, and hopefully I'll be able to get to the checkpoint, so that way in case I die again, I don't really have to worry so much. Alright. Let's see here. Now, a lot of people have said, to me on Facebook, why did you not, play O.d.t for a long period of time? It's just because, life kind of got in the way, and, unfortunately, friends, family, that kind of thing, and, I've only got so many hours to dedicate to be able to play games with people that I know, and playing online games and all that kind of fun stuff. It's unfortunate, but I unfortunately I can only give so many hours to playing games. When you've got 10,000 different things to do, and I'm a happily married man, and if I could go back and play some of my childhood games over and over and over again, I would, half a heartbeat. And there aren't too many games nowadays that come out that most people, they want to play. The majority of people, they want to play one game or two games, and they don't really play some of the older games. It's mostly people will play some of the newer games, and there's no, like, the majority of people that I know, they don't like to play older PlayStation games. They don't like to play some of the classic games that I grew up on. Some people have never even heard of them, and to me, that is probably the saddest thing that I ever heard. That certain people have not played. Oh, that sucked. Certain people haven't heard some of these older games that, for me, are classics, and that is probably the saddest, part of me, playing some of the classic games. It's one of those, that just sucks. I wish more people would, step into the realm of old school and play some classic games, and not so much worry about graphics and things like that. Because, it is really sad that, a lot of the newer type gamers that I'm finding online, and people I've met on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, are stuck in the pattern of, if it doesn't have great graphics, if it isn't a Call of Duty games, it's not a really good game. And I'm sitting there scratching my head like, dude, seriously, there's so many great games in the world, and you're saying that because, graphically, a game is not as pretty as, let's say, Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty 3 that just came out, just because it isn't, a pretty graphically done game that it's not a good game. For me, I've never been the type of person to really care so much about graphics. I've always been the type of person to really appreciate the art of video games. I am right now trying to do a couple projects in terms of video games, and Josh, my good friend, is he's going to be helping me out. But there are so many games that I would love to create one day, and one of them is very close to my heart. And if you guys know anything about, like, the news that I've posted on my Twitter feed and all that fun stuff, you guys know that I'm actively trying to do a second part to O.d.t. Unfortunately, though, it's going to take time because there's a lot of factors that I'm finding that, a lot of red tape that I got to do, and a lot of email, a lot of letters, a lot of email, and it's one of those things where, unfortunately, it's got to be done by the book. And that is locked. Why is it locked, you bastards? But yeah, it's just a lot of red tape. Trying to do a video game franchise, and trying to do a loving continuation of something that you hold dear to your heart. This is one of the best games, in my opinion, that ever came out, and I absolutely loved this game, and it's one of those. It will always be one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm actually looking forward to trying to create something unique. Because a lot of times, there's a lot of games that aren't unique, that are basically the same rehash, and they're the same type of game over and over and over. And this is where the bridge is. You probably recognize where I'm at right here. But yeah, right there. We could have gone all the way around. We didn't have to throw that switch. We didn't have to do a lot of stuff. If I had been able to get onto the bridge. But yeah, a lot of games nowadays are not inspired. They're just, a lot of gamers, they're content with just the same rehash type of game. They're not really caring about the actual continuity of what a video game should be. And that sucked. And that's why I wanted to do, I really would love to do another O.d.t game. And, I got a bunch of ideas. Me and Josh, we sat up one day, and, we sent, I sent him a YouTube video of some of the things, some of the ideas that I had. And, I sent him all these crazy ideas that I had, and he basically said he loved the majority of my ideas, and there were a couple ideas I'm sure he took and said, hey, we may be able to do this or that. But that's the cool thing about video games, is that you don't have to agree 100% on everything, just as long as there's a base and there's a respect. That's what makes video games kick ass. If you can make a game that is going to be fresh and unique, you don't really need to worry about too many grab this. Too many, ideals that, you don't have to worry so much about people disagreeing, and then, there's this, what's the word I'm trying to describe it? There's this disconnect between the artist and the developer, or the director of the game. As long as there's a mutual respect between the two people, I think that's what makes a really good game, because you could see it in the artwork, you could see it in the direction, you could see it on how it gets done. Come on. There we go. Now I have to go all the way back. So there's no point of going all the way back through that. So, yuck! I'm gonna do that, because then I don't have to worry about jumping through all the hoops. I do love the animation whenever you die in this game. I think it's hilarious. The direction they decided to take it when you die. I also love the art design, the level design on all the game. I honestly, from a directional standpoint and from a graphical standpoint, I absolutely love what they did. You can't sit down and play a game like O.d.t. and not appreciate the graphical content of the game, because the game is just beautifully put together, and that's the one thing that I've always loved about O.d.t. is that it has this mystic quality to it, and it's just a very fresh idea, and the majority of the game is very challenging, but at the same time, it's just wonderfully put together. So there we go. Some wonderful num nums, as I call it. My ammunition is num nums. And don't do that roll when you're trying to do this level, because you will die. And you should never do what I do, because I suck. I haven't played this game in forever, and I'm slowly starting to get back into the game, and I'm slowly starting to get into how to do the game and how to make the game work again for me. I don't know if this is where I was before. I can't remember offhand. So I'm gonna go down here and see. I don't know if this is... Oh, this is the bridge. Okay, so I gotta go back. That's the other thing about O.d.t. that's really cool, is that once you recognize the location, you just have to turn around, really. And it loads up pretty quick. I mean, I'm using my old PlayStation system, and get away from me. You... I want nothing to do with you. I don't want the spikes. No, I do not want spikes. Alright, let's see. I don't think there's any other places that I need to go. So now I just wonder if maybe I've got to go through here. Alright, I'm gonna save my blue ammunition. That's what I love about the flamethrower. The flamethrower is just massive, massive tool, and works extremely well, clearing the majority of plant life. Excuse me. Let's see here. Ooh. There we go. I'm gonna taser you. Any enemy that comes near me, I taser. I wonder what's up here. There we go. Oh. Well, that wasn't very nice of you. There we go. Ow, that got hurt. Alright. Nothing in this direction. And that's the one thing with O.d.t, you know, a lot of people will be like, well, that was just a waste of time. Well, you know, I think that's the cool thing about any game from this particular, era in video games. You get to... any video game is going to be a waste of time. I mean, if it's not, then, I don't consider it a true video game. It's just, the games back then, they were a lot of fun, and they're still a lot of fun. And I wish more people would, appreciate, O.d.t and, some of the other, classic games, like I said, so. Alright. We haven't been in this direction. So. Let's see here. Try to see. Alright. Yes, a clog is missing. Oh, nice. Okay, so I gotta find this missing clog. Just, that doesn't sound right. Hold on. see here. Wait a second. I'm a smart cookie. Not really, but still. Wow, that's not very nice. I found a secret area. Okay. Alright. Let's get rid of these guys. Okay. That was fun. Try to see if I can kill these guys in one shot. There we go. I don't know if there's another... I don't think there is. Negative. Okay. Okay. Let's get out of here. And I think for this part, I think we're gonna stop and get ready to load the next one. So thank you very much for watching my particular walkthrough of O.d.t. Part 6. I'll try to get Part 7 done later on this evening or tomorrow, and then, you know, upload maybe a few days, maybe a week. Just been so busy with a whole bunch of stuff, just haven't had a lot of time. So, but thank you for watching, and again, thank you to all the O.d.t. fans, and to Josh Allen, my good friend.